So it's called Take Me Back to Eden, and I hear birds chirping. Something like flowing water. You hear kind of the sounds of beauty. The sounds of life.
I dream in phosphorescence, bleed through spaces, see you drifting past the fall, but no one told you where to go.
Family, is this a continuation? It almost seems like Sleep Token is just telling this really, really long story, and it just kind of slowly unfolds in front of you. It's like any song that you hear is intrinsically connected to the next song you listen to, whatever that song happens to be. I mean, this is the song that was just kind of most requested after we did Ascensionism. You know, and he says, I see you drifting past the fog, but no one told you where to go. So drifting past the fog, right? It's like when your mind is foggy, when you don't know what to pay attention to, right? And there's a lot of trauma in Sleep Token, right? So I see you drifting past the fog. You caught my interest. But it's like, that's a beautiful and poetic way of saying that, right? Instead of saying, hey, you caught my eye, you drifted past the fog. Right? You were something that was kind of shining in radiance. The one thing in my life that wasn't blurry. Right? And no one told you where to go. Maybe the reason that this person or this entity drifted past the fog and became so important to you is because they weren't following the rules. They were kind of going with the flow. And isn't that always an attractive person when you see somebody who's just like, you know what, the rules be damned. I'm just going to be somebody who just kind of lets go and just lives freely. That's always something that's kind of a spectacle, right?
We dive through crystal waters, perfect oceans, but no one told me not to breathe. Another weightlessness receive.
We dive through crystal waters, perfect oceans, right? When you think of crystal waters, you think of no waves, no turmoil, right? When it all started, it was beautiful, wasn't it? There was no turmoil. It was crystal seas, right? The water was still. I mean, he says, but no one told me not to breathe. Nobody told me that the rules to this paradise required me to be something other than my authentic self, right? Family, welcome to MrBiscuit Speaks, the place where music, meaning, and raw human honesty just collide. This isn't a hype reaction channel. This isn't a low-effort commentary, and it's definitely not superficial entertainment, right? This is a space where we actually listen to art, to story, to psychology, to the parts of ourselves that music wakes up. So if you're down, please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. Now back to the video. And then he says, the weightlessness. Yeah, so the high is over. Once you realize that not breathing is a part of the... Yo, who is writing this? Who is writing this? You know, I wonder if it's like a team of writers who are just elite poets, right? I mean, are you guys hearing these lyrics? I'm a winged insect and you're a funeral pyre, right? We all know the moth to the flame thing, right? The moth can't resist the flame, but calling yourself a winged insect and this other person a funeral pyre, you're saying, not only am I racing toward my death with you, but it is instinctual to who I am. There's nothing that can change this, right? Some of us say, oh, it's your fault. You could have made a different decision. Can a winged insect, make a different decision other than to be magnetized by the flame? Like, what an important thing to say. Like, I love the poetic kind of hiddenness beneath the surface. Like, they choose the right words. I'm gonna let you guys hear it again. I'm gonna let them cook.
Those eyes like fire, I'm a wind insect, you're a funeral pyre. Come now, bite through these wires, I'm a waking hell and the gods grow tired.
The gods grow tired means there's only so much grace for you, bro. Like, if you're racing toward hell and you know that, if you're metacognizing it, you're thinking about your thoughts, you already know that this is not going to end well, right? The gods grow tired of that kind of thing. It's like, look, you have the option in front of you. You're only going to get so much grace, right? I'm a waking hell and the gods grow tired. Grow back your sharpest teeth. Guys, we talk a lot on this channel about how the word paradise means the walled garden. That's what paradise literally means. A garden is the place where you explore and the walls are the boundaries. When he says, take me back to Eden, in the story of Eden, right, man was kind of like animals. We didn't sacrifice the present for thoughts about the future or the past. We were kind of like animals. Right? It was kind of before shame, before self-consciousness, before addiction, or fracture. Right? He's saying, take me back to Eden. It's almost like this music is kind of sadistic in the way that it runs into pain and just wants to be cognitive of the pain you're running into. Bro, you cannot sleep. You cannot sleep on the vocals. Yes, I'm listening to that again. I apologize. You got to bear with me. I have to hear that again. Cook, sir. Cook, buddy. Oh, that's fire. Take me back to Eden is a plan to undo awareness itself, to undo self-awareness, right? I'd rather be on this kind of unpredictable journey than to be cognitive of kind of where this is going. It's a very, very dark thing. It's almost like these are sadistic songs. And is it sadism or is it masochism? One of those is about, really, really enjoying being tortured, or a mistrust of the rules of romantic engagement, right?
Well, yeah, I spit blood when I wake up. Sink porcelain stain, choking up brain matter and makeup. Just 2 days since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up. Room feels like a meat freezer, I dangling like cold cuts. Missed calls, answer phones from people I just don't trust.
The morning after, right? And this kind of makes it seem like this whole thing was done in a state of a drug-induced mania, drugs or alcohol or whatever. But listen, I think romantic love itself, or the worship of something, it has its own capability of, making you cognitively unavailable. It's an altered state of consciousness. And so it's like the morning after, it's like, are you still okay? Like, what did you sacrifice? And it's so important. It shouldn't be lost on you that he changes the style of the song, right? The morning after, the style changes, right? When you're in this kind of worshipful, focused state where you're getting that drug, you're accessing that thing that you wanted so bad. It's the I can't hit it like I can't hit that note quite like he does, but but then the morning after, it's like it's a more cold kind of situation. And he embodies that by kind of starting to rap on that second line. Listen to that transition again. The transition is cold.
Well, yeah, I spit blood when I wake up.
Spit blood.
Sink porcelain stain, choking up brain matter and makeup. Just 2 days since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up. Room feels like a meat freezer, I dangling like cold cuts. Missed calls, answer phones from people I just don't trust.
People I don't trust.
Fake love, but I'll take a pound of your flesh before you take a piece of my pay stub. White roses, black doves, godmother, rise up, I need you to see.
White roses, black doves. The rose represents love, the dove represents peace. But love is corrupted, right? White roses. And then peace is dead, black doves, right? White roses, black doves. It's like things that represent peace and love are altered in this way that isn't to anybody's benefit. It's all for show. Right? Sleep Token kind of seems to me like they believe that the way that we're living our lives are naive, or at least incomplete. Right? And that's a very dark vision, to say that the way that human beings love is more like a game than a real thing. Because it doesn't allow you to be the messy thing that you truly are. Right? We like love to kind of come in predictable boxes.
Me for what I have become. My mind, those eyes like fire. I'm a winged insect.
You're a funeral pyre. Cook, sir.
Come now, bite through these wires. I'm a waking hell and the gods grow
tired.
Reset my patient violence along both lines of a pathway higher. Grow back your sharpest teeth, you know my desire.
I love this Selah moment. I'm going to take advantage of it because this is a lot. That Selah moment is the part in the song, that bridge, where you just kind of get to think about it.
I guess it goes to show, does it not, that we've no idea what we've got until we lose it.
That's a fact.
And no amount of love will keep it around if we don't choose it.
I love his voice. No amount of love will keep it around. It's like he switches styles so effortlessly from like rock to R&B to, this kind of hushed whisper. And sometimes he's like gritting his teeth as he sings. And then sometimes it's just belting it out. It's like just completely evasive of whatever style doesn't match the intention of the record.
And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite
I don't know what's got its teeth in me is crucial, right? Dante's Inferno begins, I found myself in a forest dark because the right way had been lost. I don't know what's got its teeth in me. I just know that I'm lost, right? These are facts. This song is fire. You're a funeral pyre. Come now, fight through these wires. I'm waking now, and the gods grow higher. Reset my patient violence. The drummer's starting to lose it. Every song epic? Every single one? Shout out to the absolute space alien that is that drummer. Salute. Salute. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I could have used another one of those hooks where he hit that crazy high note. I could have used another one of those. But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like Sleep Token is really putting our inauthenticness in our faces. Like saying, what about the real cost of relationships? You know, when he says, I'm a winged insect, you're a funeral pyre, I no longer think he's talking about some romantic partner. Like, what if that is about life? And I know you guys are saying, get into the lore. He's, this may be, to sleep or to, whoever the in the whole Sleep Token myth that I still have yet to investigate, unfortunately. But, in my mind, it's like, isn't life that? A life lived authentically is a moth delivering itself to the flame. All of the burdens and all of the roadblocks and the things that just kind of tear you apart as you go through life. He's saying, look, I would rather be in that flame than living in the boxes which shelter me from real existence. All right? Back to Eden.